Hi everyone and welcome back to IPMap, the complete map to your IPM journey. My name is Yash and today I will be presenting you a guide on the NPAT 2023 to make sure that you ace it and come out on the top. So firstly, we'll have two videos on NPAT 2023. The first one that you're watching right now would be a detailing video. It would consist of the eligibility criteria, how many retakes one can have, what is the application fees, and what is the refund policy of NMIMS Mumbai. Secondly, we'll have the strategy video, which would focus mainly on the exam. We'll talk about how many sections it has, what is the negative marking scenario, what is the syllabus that has been observed in the past 2 to 3 years, and how we're supposed to attempt each question and section. So, what is NPAT? It is a computer based online examination which is opted for by students who are done with their class 12. This allows them to start with their college life. So, firstly, we'll talk about the eligibility criteria. We'll focus mainly on the schools of commerce and economics, which contain BBA, BCom Honors, BSc Finance, and BSc Economics. All four of them have the same eligibility criteria. Firstly, a candidate must have a minimum of 50% aggregate in their class 12. This means that if you have 40% in your class 12, even though you would be allowed to sit for the exam, none of the colleges would actually accept you. They would instantly reject you. Secondly, a candidate must have maths or statistics in the class 11th and 12th. If you don't have either of the one, your application will be rejected. There's another thing that I would like to talk about since a lot of kids have confusion on this. NMIMS basically offers BBA of three types. Firstly, we have the flagship course, that is BBA. Secondly, there's BBA in branding and advertising. Thirdly, there's BBA in business management and marketing. So you only need to satisfy both of these eligibility criteria for the first one, that is BBA. For the other two, that is BBA in branding and advertising and BBA in business management and marketing, you only have to satisfy the first criteria. That is, you have to have a minimum of 50% aggregate in your class 12. You don't have to have maths or statistics in your class 11th and 12th. So if you didn't have these two in your class 11th and 12th and you still want to opt for a BBA in NMIMS, these two are a pretty good choice. We now have the important dates that are related to NPAT 2023. So the registration portal for NPAT opened on the 1st of December 2022 and will close on 21st May 2023. This means that students who haven't already filled their application form should start doing it now. Secondly, we have the exam scheduling dates. So the portal for this opened on the 6th of December 2022 and will close on 23rd May 2023. Students who have already filled their application form could now start selecting their exam dates, the venue and time that they are comfortable with. Thirdly, we have the actual exam dates from the 4th of Jan 2023 to the 31st of May 2023. Students who selected an exam date using the exam scheduling portal would now have to go and give their exam on the date that they have selected. Fourthly, we have the tentative result dates. So it has been noticed in the last 2 to 3 years that NMIMS releases its merit list after about 3 to 4 weeks from the last exam date. So in this case, it's the 31st of May. So you can expect your offer letter to be out by the 20th of June to 30th of June. So a lot of kids have doubts as to where they can find their admit card. Well, it can be downloaded from the application portal after you choose an exam date. You must have seen an Ask a Query option or a document status option. Well, you will find your admit card near there. Secondly, we have the result. So, where will your offer letter come? Well, you can get it from the application portal. It will appear right above the admit card. Now, this is arguably the most important slide of this video. It pertains to the retest and rescheduling. A candidate can opt for a total of 2 retakes aside from their main attempt. It is not mandatory to apply for a retest while they are filling their application form for the first time. So for example, if you have to pay Rs 3,000 for your main exam, you would have to pay a total of 6,000 if you're opting for the retests as well. NMIMS will ask you to pay that amount right there and then. They'll tell you that you won't get the option to opt for a retest later on. But that is actually false. You will get an option to opt for a retest after your first attempt or your main exam. That being said, there is a slight catch to it. You cannot add a new school to your application if you have already given your main exam. So, for example, if you chose the School of Commerce for your first attempt, you cannot add the School of Economics, that is BSc Economics, to your application. That being said, you can add a new category of test. So NMIMS offers three types of test: NPAT, SET, and LAT. SET refers to the BTech and pharmacy course, while LAT refers to the LLB course. If you're interested in them, I would suggest you to go for them. Moving on, we have the rescheduling. So, contrary to what the official NMIMS handout says, one can actually get their exam rescheduled as long as they email them at nmimssupport@pearson.com. I had my test rescheduled because my Christ exam date was clashing with the NPAT exam date. I emailed them at this email and received a phone call about 4 to 5 days later. They were very friendly and cooperative. They gave me a new venue and time, and I was able to get my exam rescheduled successfully. Further on, we have the order of preference of all the campuses of NMIMS. At the top, I've kept the Mumbai campus with all the programs of the School of Commerce and Economics. At ranks 5 and 6, I have the Bengaluru campus and the Navi Mumbai campus. Now, this is purely subjective from my side. You see, the teachers that teach at the Mumbai campus also teach at the Navi Mumbai campus, which is why a lot of students prefer the Navi Mumbai campus to the Bengaluru campus, although it has a much older establishment. So, at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you prefer the financial capital of the country, I would suggest you to go for the Navi Mumbai campus. And if you prefer the Silicon Valley of the country, go for the Bengaluru campus. At rank 7, we have the Hyderabad campus. At rank 8, we have the Indore campus. At rank 9, we have the Chandigarh campus. And at rank 10, we have the newest campus, that is the Dhule campus. Now, the last four were made after a lot of research. We looked at a lot of newspapers, their rankings, how long ago they were established, and after a lot of consideration, we came up with this list. So, again, at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you live near one of these cities and you prefer this campus over another campus, go for it. But if you have no idea about what is the standing of each NMIMS campus, I would suggest you to fill your preference list according to this preference list. Moving on, we have the application fees for NPAT 2023. The minimum amount a candidate has to pay to appear for the exam is Rs 2000, as long as he or she only chooses one school. For every subsequent school that you add, you'll have to pay Rs 1000 more. So, for example, if you were to choose all the programs within the School of Commerce, that is BBA, BCom Honors, and BSc Finance, you would still have to pay only Rs 2000. On the other hand, if you were to choose the BBA from the School of Commerce and you were to choose a BSc Economics from the School of Economics, you would have to pay an aggregate of Rs 3000. We have now reached the end of our video, the last slide being about the refund policy of NMIMS. We'll have a much deeper discussion on this slide about 5 months later when you're actually supposed to pay the tuition fee. But for now, look at the keyword, the notified last date of admission. This date is the day on which one is supposed to join the campus. So you get 100% refund as long as you ask for it within 15 days or more before the notified last date of admission. You'll get a 90% refund if you ask for it less than 15 days before the notified last date of admission. You'll get an 80% refund if you ask for one 15 days or less after the notified last date of admission. You'll get a 50% refund 30 days or less but more than 15 days after the notified last date of admission. And you won't get a refund at all if you're asking for one more than 30 days after the notified last date of admission. Well, this is all from my side, guys. Stay tuned for the next week's video, which will be on the strategy on how you're supposed to attempt the NPAT exam. Thank you very much and keep watching IPMAP.